So we are breaking one of the cardinal rules of wine drinking today.
We are.
Usually when it gets hot, you banish the red wine to the cellar and grab a beer or a crisp white.
Right, it's the seasonal dilemma. You want the complexity of a red, but you just don't want that heaviness from a room temperature wine when it's warm out.
Exactly. But we have a stack of research here on a bottle that doesn't just tolerate the cold. It was actually designed to thrive in it.
This is the Laurence de Veyrac Merlot Cabernet from Domaine de Castelnau, and it really does solve that problem. It's a bit of a unicorn.
And the critics seem to agree. We're looking at this blind tasting report from the Wine Kingdom magazine. Get this, out of 118 bottles tested,
Wow.
this one snagged a 5-star rating specifically for being delicious chilled.
Which is not easy to do. Chilling a red wine, I mean, it usually just mutes the flavor.
Or it makes the tannins taste kind of metallic and harsh.
Exactly. The cold suppresses aroma. So for a red to work at, say, 12 to 14 degrees Celsius, it needs a very specific profile.
And this one has it. It's this golden ratio blend, right?
Strict 50-50 split. Half Merlot, half Cabernet Sauvignon.
So you get that juicy, fleshy fruit from the Merlot, but then the Cabernet provides that backbone, that structure. But the thing that really jumped out at me in the tasting notes were these 2 specific aromas that survived the chill: menthol and humus.
Yes. Those are the key differentiators. And for anyone pausing at humus, we are not talking about the dip.
Right.
In wine, that refers to the scent of the forest floor-like damp earth, leaf mold. Sounds a little intense, but it's the secret weapon here.
Because if it was just sweet fruit, chilling it would make it taste like, I don't know, adult grape juice. It'd be flat.
Totally boring.
Yeah.
That earthy humus note gives it a grounding wire, and the menthol adds this layer of cool spice.
So when you drink it cold, you're not just getting refreshing.
No, you're getting elegance and depth. It still has that complex French character, even when it's properly cold.
Yeah. And that French character isn't just a marketing gimmick. We have to talk about the history here, because Domaine de Castelnau is not some trendy startup.
Not at all.
This estate traces its lineage back to the 13th century, the heritage of the Lords of Guers.
It's a staggering amount of history. They've been making wine in the Languedoc region for nearly 800 years. That 50-50 blend isn't a random guess.
No, it's centuries of trial and error.
It's centuries of understanding exactly how those 2 grapes work together.
But they're not stuck in the past. The production notes highlight some serious modern tech, specifically night harvesting.
That's the perfect bridge between the history and the modern approach.
Picking the grapes in the dark to lock in that freshness.
Yes, before the sun can oxidize the fruit.
Yeah.
You have this 13th century terroir, but you're using modern techniques to make sure the flavor is pure enough to stand up to being chilled.
And they also have the HVE Level 3 certification,
Which is the highest environmental standard in France. So you're talking high biodiversity, minimal chemicals.
You're tasting the grape, not the intervention.
Exactly.
Plus, they bottled it with a screw cap, which, for a wine meant for a BBQ or a picnic, is a huge selling point.
It fits the wine perfectly. No risk of cork taint, just fresh, consistent wine every time you open it.
Okay, so let's get this on the dinner table. The tannins are silky, and the fruit is really clean, so the Wine Kingdom actually suggests pairing this with Japanese food.
Oh, interesting.
Specifically, dishes like teriyaki chicken.
That makes perfect sense. That savory, slightly sweet soy glaze would mirror the fruit and spice in the wine. It wouldn't clash at all.
They also listed ginger pork. That has to be the menthol note at work, right? Harmonizing with the ginger spice.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
A big, heavy, oaky red would just fight with that ginger heat. This blend it rides right alongside it.
So it's incredibly versatile. You could drink it chilled with that pork in the summer.
But then if you let it warm up to room temperature, it has enough body to stand up to something like a beef stew in the winter.
I love that. You're basically getting 2 different wines in one bottle, just depending on the temperature you serve it at.
It's the elegance of French tradition with the practicality of a modern daily drinker.
So here is the experiment for you. Grab a bottle of this Laurence de Veyrac, pour a glass straight from the fridge, and really look for that cool menthol kick.
Yeah.
Then just hold the glass in your hand, let it warm up for about 10 minutes, and see how that earthy humus note starts to open up and evolve.
It's a really fascinating lesson in how temperature changes our whole perception of flavor.
It's a rule breaker that completely respects its roots.
You know, that raises a final thought for me. We often think tradition means being rigid and stuck in the past. But maybe true quality, the kind that comes from 800 years of experience, is actually what gives a wine the structural integrity to be this flexible. Because there's a lot of history to be this modern.